Hello everyone, it's been quite a while since I did one of these vlogs because, well, I've actually had my hands pretty full lately. Um, I didn't want to crowd Toycember with any of them, so in April didn't do anything. Haven't done anything this month because, drama, and I've got a few things to get off my plate before we get into any extraneous videos aside from the usual schedule. And this was a vlog that I wanted to make last weekend because things came up that need to be discussed, and I've got things that I want to run past you guys, and you guys need to help me out. But in order to explain what it is, I will have to discuss the dreaded Patreon subject. So we will save that for the end. But I would appreciate you watching that far in because it does involve a major new frontier for me video-wise, and I'm counting on you guys for a little bit of input and a little bit of support here. So that's coming later, and we're going to discuss a bunch of things here. But the first and foremost, I was going to post this last weekend, but I saw the numbers on my YouTube channel. And I'm normally not a numbers guy, but big milestones are very cool things for me to see come up. And this one was very cool to me because as of this recording, I've just cracked 25,000 subscribers, and you guys have no idea how much I appreciate that, for your support, for your viewership, and just it's an absolutely amazing thing to me that I can talk to a camera and point a camera at a toy and just give my opinion, and it's somehow meaningful to people, and that many people would actually find enjoyment in what I'm doing. And it's an amazing thing to me, and if you never could have convinced me of this, even into my junior year in high school, I was the quiet kid. I didn't want to be, please no one look at me, please no one mess with me, I'm going to sit as close to the teacher as I can so nobody messes with me and nobody does anything bad around me. I wanted to be a shadow on the wall, so if you told me one day I would be openly talking to about 25,000 people, and whoever else happens to wander in today and just click on this video because, I'd have laughed, no, I'm never going to be that kind of person. I'm never going to be outgoing enough to expose myself to the masses of the internets. But here I am. I've been at it for years and years now. About 7 meaningful years of work altogether. And I know there's bigger toy review channels out there, much higher subscriber counts than mine. And like I said, I'm not too big on the actual number. The milestone means a lot to me, and the people mean a lot to me. The number itself is just a number. I've had just as much fun doing these videos now than when I started out, and I was spending 6 months entertaining all of 23 people. So 25,000 people could watch this vlog, 20 people could. I still love being able to talk to you guys and have it mean something, I am very privileged to be able to have that kind of thing, and actually have, some moniker of success, if you can call it that. It's been an amazing trip. You guys have, the exposing, putting myself on the internet like that has shown me a lot of bad in humanity. I've had messages, wishing horrible things on me or telling me to do horrible things to myself, which I won't repeat. I will not validate it by describing it. But I've also seen great support, great generosity, amazing kindness and love, and you guys have no idea how much it means to me. And living this, with the stresses in this household and the very dark times I've had, especially in this last year, it has meant the world to me that I've had so many people stick by me and offer up their support, even if it is just in words, and it means a lot. And if those 23 people hadn't stuck around that long, I would not have the opportunities that I've had because of this video camera. I've gotten to talk to some of my favorite voice actors. I get to call my favorite voice actor my friend because of this camera. I've done professional gigs both in editing and recording. Professional private parties, stage performances, and it's been an incredible thing for me to have those kinds of opportunities. And it would not have happened if I didn't get the guts one day to point a webcam at Titanium Menasor and just make fun of it and just tinker around in, at the time, Windows Movie Maker, just to see what I could do. Man, it's been a long time since Windows Movie Maker. I've come a long, long way since then. But it has been fun, and I don't regret a minute of it. I know a lot of people will look at this and go, well, it's a dumb little toy channel. No matter how big the numbers ever get, it's still just a guy talking about a bunch of kids' toys. But the things I've experienced over the years, and the messages I've gotten, the people I've talked to, the friendships and relationships I've gained because of this camera and what I do have been invaluable to me. It's because of this camera here that I was ever outgoing at all. That I ever kind of had the guts to put myself in any real public situation. And it's led to a lot of friendships. It's led to a lot of encounters that I never would have had otherwise. And it's been incredible. Absolutely incredible. So, to everyone out there who's stuck with me, some of you have been here for years. Some of you subscribed yesterday. But whenever it is, however long it's been, you have no idea. I cannot articulate into words how much it has meant to me and just how much this all amazes me, like on a daily basis, that this little toy geek can sit here and it actually means something to some people. Over the years, yeah, you get people, I get people who, they hate me because of the sound of my voice. Or they hate me because someone who doesn't know who I was, or doesn't know who I am, has an opinion about me, and they take it as gospel, even though they have no clue who I am. But then again, I've also gotten emails from people telling me that my videos pulled them from very, very dark places, and have, some that have told me I very literally saved their lives just because I do these funny videos. And when you read the kind of messages like that, because I have had people in my life that have I hate to go into dark subjects, but I have had people in my life. I've lost friends to suicide, and just to know that what I've done has pulled a few people away from that. I could be at this for, how, if what I was, like, if what I have done, if the 7 years of work all led to saving one person's life because my videos helped them get through a very dark time, then all the, whatever ridicule there was, whatever sacrifices I've made for this, however much I've spent on, in time and energy and money for equipment and all that, everything is worth it if that's what it led to, even if it's just one person. So it's I cannot begin to describe, it's, the numbers do not validate what I do like that does. So you know, I really, like, I'm amazed that I can be that for some people out there. So, you know, thank you guys for sticking with me to actually lead me to the point that I am at now. So, since it is like the 25,000 subscriber vlog, we're going to do a few things I don't normally do around here, and we're going to discuss a few upcoming plans. See, the nice thing about random review, Monday, Wednesday, Friday video reviews, but they're very easy to do. I will straight up say that. I brought that format back because it's a very easy format. I point a camera at a toy, I talk about it for about 10 to 13 minutes, take it into the editor, clean up the ends, put the intro on, put the outro on, and upload it. And that's really it. Like, I can sit down, and even with editing time, even with rendering time, it'll take me all of an hour to get an entire week's worth of random reviews done. You know, and it's a fun series for me to do, because it's fun to just sit there and talk about a toy, not have to think about every single thing, and, and a lot of the off-the-cuff humor is better than anything I could have written for the toy at the time. You know, and it lets me talk about things I normally wouldn't get to, like a toy like Botcon Dinobot, or let's see what else. Let's see, what's a good example that I pulled out of the shelves recently? Well, newer things like Generations Dead End and Rook. You know, or things like what is a good example? Or like Strong Arm. I'm literally looking at my shelves going, what was a good example from what I recently reviewed in the last month? But those kinds of toys are not the thing that I would dedicate an entire TJ reviews to. There's too much work that goes into those kinds of videos, you know, between all the shots I have to do, the rotating table, and the demonstration on, the transformation demonstration on camera, and, editing that to time, and making sure, and the audio's, like, scripted and then recorded separately. And there's a lot of flubs to cut out, because I'm not the best at reading a script. And I have to make sure that I've got video for all the clips, and that all the clips are long enough to fit in the video, which is really hard when I've got motion going on with the tray, because the tray only goes so far. It's a lot more work than it should be just to talk about a toy. It's the kind of work I would put in for larger toys, and for bigger things that a random review is not a good format for. In that regard, yes, I am writing a review for Masterpiece Star Saber. Yeah, everyone else who has already done one. I don't care. I'm the Star Saber guy. My Star Saber is like right behind me, right now. That's my G1 is right behind me there. My Masterpiece is behind me up there. There's a little vinyl one, and over there. There's a Robot Master over there. I like my Star Sabers. So that one I would dedicate a fully edited review for, because that's an easier format to do a toy that big and that complicated. Also, since I did the Complete Selection Modification Deca Driver, I want to do the Rider card set that goes with it, because there's a lot of opinions I have about that set, but it's all audio demonstration, so it's a TJ Reviews format. And the nice thing about Random Review is I'm not going to have any more dead months ever. Like, as long as I can hit record on this camera, you're going to get those videos Monday, Wednesday, Friday, like clockwork. And they don't interfere with writing time. All the time I was using to write TJ reviews, trying to keep weekly content coming up, I can put into Plastic Addict, I can put into TJ TV, and all that heavy editing work can go into those series now. And that's what it should have been from the start, Should have just been me talking about toys, and then every now and then throwing up something really big that I spent a couple weeks working on. And that's the point that we're getting to now. I am writing a Star Saber review. I am writing a Complete Selection Modification Rider card set review. Which does remind me, since it comes up all the time, I have not planned to do non-Transformer toys for random review yet, because I've got so many Transformers to go through. It doesn't seem, I can't really fairly balance it out with the Rider toys. But there are a bunch of Rider toys that a TJ review is a little big for. So there will come a time where there will be non-Transformer toys in random review, but that time is not now. We're looking a little bit farther down the line for that, or we might do like a theme week. A week might come up where it's just me showing off like Gaim arms change figures or demonstrating a couple lock seeds, that kind of thing. So it will happen down the line, but for now I've got a lot of Transformers I want to talk about. We at least want to get through the backlogs of things. That does bring me to things like TJTV, Plastic Addict. TJTV gets harder and harder to make, just because of not only how long it takes to research, watch the show, write the episode, edit the whole thing, and how much, like I need like a full night of quiet time, like dead silence in the house, just to record an episode that big. One of the biggest challenge, and the bigger challenge of that is, YouTube doesn't like it, and I'm not good at updating my website, so it gets a little tricky. But I do want to bring it back because there's a few episodes I have promised. There's a few milestones I want to get to, and there's like 3 or 4 scripts that are like half done, just because they've been sitting around. I had ideas, I jotted something down, and it's the creative process, but it just hasn't been able to flow as much lately. For Plastic Addict, I will tell you guys right now, which I normally don't reveal Plastic Addict plans, but 25,000 subscribers, why not? Arachnid is the next one. And I'm having difficulty writing for her review because her robot mode is horrible. It's absolutely dreadful. But it's also very boring. So there's a lot to criticize, but not a lot of it is funny. Which, when you're reviewing, like, Armada Sideswipe and his vehicle mode gimmick literally flings a Minicon out the back, that's easy to make fun of. When you've just got a robot mode which has all stunted articulation, little panels for arms, and no, like half the paint apps that it's supposed to have, it's not a lot to work with. But I am working on it. So, she is next, and I have ideas for other episodes. There is actually one episode that is completely written out, but I don't know but I might want to research it more and rewrite it a little bit before releasing it, which is a top 10 worst repaints. Because I don't want to review a toy just because of bad paint job, but I still want to rant about a few bad paint jobs. I also thought of doing something kind of weird. Kind of like, it has nothing to do with Transformers. Well, it kind of does. I want to do a Plastic Addict episode for the Thrilling 30. Not specifically like the toy line itself and that part of Generations, but the concept of Thrilling 30, like the 30 Transformer toys that mark the 30th anniversary of Transformers, and what an awful, awful marketing strategy it was, and just how badly it tanked. Because, man, I've never seen something in Transformers go so badly and be so poorly thought out. So I really kind of want to do that too, and I think there's a lot to make fun of there. So basically, I'm working to give you guys a little bit of variety. When Plastic Addict comes back, it's not just going to be bad toy after bad toy after bad toy. Armada, Animorph, Beast Machine. Armada, Animorph, Beast Machine. Built to rule. Armada. We're gonna mix things up a lot more than that. So I want to give you guys something that isn't just me ranting about a toy. So that's what those plans are. That's what's in the video, works all the way through. This vlog is also going to be me. I also wanted to bring up my topic of Metrocon, which, as of this video, I'm 3 weeks away from leaving for the big, Tampa convention I love so much. Metrocon isn't even about, like, going to meet voice actors and seeing the panels anymore. I've got so many people there I know now. Like, I want to go to see my friends that I only get to see once a year. I want to go, and like I want to see the people again that I don't get to hang out with very often because they're all too far away. Though I did find out a couple frequent the Renaissance Fair I usually go to every year, so that was kind of weird. That was kind of weird. Uh, but you know that's become such a big thing for me to go on those trips, and this year it is bigger than ever. It is a 4-day convention. 4 days. I don't know how I'm going to survive the 4th day because I barely make it through 3, but we're going to try. Uh, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really, really looking forward to it because it's, aside from the fact it's like it's gonna be like 6 days away from the house, and like after the last year I've had, I really need that. I really need that. I really need the time off, and it's 6 days because we go and check into the hotel the day before the convention, and we leave a day after. Which, if you got like we've got a 3-hour drive, me and Danielle, to go to the convention. So, you know, like if you got that big of a trip, if you're flying in, I really recommend the extra time in the hotel. It's more expensive on the trip, but you enjoy the first day so much more when you don't have to go like we used to go there Friday mornings, and we miss the opening of the dealer room. We miss opening ceremonies because there's only so fast we can get there. The hotel only checks in at a certain time, and you know, when you spend 3 hours in the car in the summer heat in Florida, you don't smell your best. So it's so much less pressure to just go the day before. It's more expensive, but oh my god, the trip is so much more fun. And the same goes for after, because we have a 3-hour drive home. And when we used to do that on Sunday, we barely made it. There are times where we both literally, not at the same time, thank God, but we've both fallen asleep during the trip home. Oh, and it really sucks when one of us is behind the wheel when it happens. So that doesn't happen anymore. Like, we have our convention fun. We stay the night at the hotel. We rest up, and then we have a nice leisurely drive back, and it's so much more enjoyable. So much bigger trip than normal. Now, you will still get random reviews in that time. I'm going to pre-record and pre-upload and schedule them to to post on the same times. Now, I don't know how YouTube works. If it like pops up in your feed when one of them goes live or not, because it's technically not uploaded at that time or whatnot. But if you check my channel on the Wednesday, Friday, and Monday, is what it'll be while I'm gone, you will see the episodes. You will see new random reviews. So you got that. You know, I'm going to make sure you guys are taken care of and you got a little bit to watch while I'm away. And I'll still do my usual post-convention stuff as soon as I get home and sprinkle in the Metrocon videos in between random reviews throughout the next couple months. You know, I feel bad because I didn't get to do my big like highlight reel from last year because I recorded so much last year. I literally didn't know what to do with it all. Like, that's like how big it was last year because we had 2 cameras recording everything. So this year, big difference. We're actually gonna try it. We're actually you know, we're gonna try and lighten the load, and with 4 days to cover, I'm honestly not sure what format the videos will take, but you guys will get a lot more videos, and because the guys put on such good performances and such good shows. Like, I'll probably upload the 2014 stuff eventually, just for the sake of you guys getting to see it, because it's incredible stuff. You know, I know a lot of people don't watch the Metrocon stuff. You really need to, because it's funny, it's action-packed. You know, it's the choreographed fights, the stage shows, the comedy shows, the voice actors are hysterical. And I do interviews with them. You know, and this year's kind of huge. We got the new Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask are going to be in attendance. We got the lead actresses from Kill la Kill. Laura Bailey's going to be there, who's been like really high on my like I really want to meet this voice actress scale. So there's going to be a ton this year. Ton this year. I'm going to give you guys as much as I can. So please give it a watch because it's there's a lot more than you think there is. So those are videos. That's Metrocon. And now we get to the part where I have to discuss Patreon because an incident happened last week. I'm not entirely sure what the goal of the incident was, but it wasn't the nicest of things I've ever been through. Someone apparently thought it was going to be like a real good time to spend their entire evening making fake email addresses and making fake pledges to my Patreon just to make the number go as high as he could. And to what end, I don't know. Because there's part of me that's like imagining him like sitting at his computer going, I will skyrocket his pledge total as high as I can get it with as many fake accounts as I can make. And then when the beginning of the month comes, he won't get that much money. And he will be disappointed. It's like Professor Chaos from South Park levels of villainy. Like, when the beginning of the month comes, he will not get the money that he thinks he's going to get, and he will be sad. My genius plan. I don't know what he thought he was doing, because he spent all night on this, and you could tell they're fake accounts, because the guy was terrible at this. They were all the same email format. They all came from the same free email domain. They're all for huge amounts, and they all came within the same evening. It's like, really? Do you really think I'm not going to figure that out quickly? And for him, it's like you register every single email. You register every single email with Patreon. You fill in all your fake little payment information. And then you go to my page and make your fake little pledges as high as you can without them, like, if you charge too high, like, it gets, you have to pay in advance. So they're charging, like, every one of them pledged just shy of that number. Just shy, just to boost it as high as possible. And he spent all evening on this. For me, it's 10 seconds of clicking to get rid of them. Like, it's not a big deal. I don't know if he just wasted my time, or I don't know if he thought he was wasting my time or trolling me. He really wasn't. I was confused more than anything, because I didn't see how this was, like, a successful troll in any way. Like his private little laugh to torture me a little bit, because it wasn't torturing. It was just weird. It did inspire a few emails with Patreon, because I was trying to figure out if there was a way of banning someone by IP, which apparently not yet, but they're thinking about it. They're also thinking about, like, the way Patreon works, they only charge you at the first of the month. So they're thinking of, well, maybe the first time they have to, maybe the very first pledge has to be paid up front to kind of weed out that kind of behavior, which that I can get behind. But, like, even if he was legit, like, I don't want $99 a month pledges. Like, my suggested pledge level is $2. Like, I don't want massive amounts of money from individual people. The most I get pledged is like $30 from one person, and that's a friend of mine. Like that one, like, I let go because, I know the guy. But, I don't need that. Like, I don't need gigantic pledge totals. Like, I don't want people to make a bill expense out of me. So, like, even if someone did that, I probably wouldn't accept it. Excuse me. I'm not brand sponsored. But it was just weird. Like, the most I could think he was doing, like, the most harm I think he could have accomplished was, like, if people saw how high the total got, because it got to, like, almost $900 before I started deleting them. The most harm I think he was getting at was if people saw how high the total was and then pulled their pledges thinking, oh, He doesn't need me anymore. Look how high it is. I kind of think that happened because the pledge total, like, I made a few legit there were a few legit pledges that came in that day, but even after clearing out, the total was still lower. And this is the part where I kind of have to address Patreon. This is why I have to go through all of this with you. Because last month, like, legitimately, I hit the $500 milestone, which at that point I promised a video game based series called TJ versus VG. And since I hit that mark, since I hit the milestone, I did start work on the video. As of right now, the game footage is recorded, my audio is recorded, my background graphics are done, the logo is done. I was conceiving things for the intro when things even the outro stuff is done, but the intro stuff hung me up a little bit on sound because I keep wanting to use like the Mega Man stage select music, which I probably should not use. So I was confused on theme song. I was confused on like visually what should it be to convey video game. So I'm still working on some of that. When I kind of noticed that yes, I had hit that pledge mark, but it fluctuates. Like, I understand there are people who are only going to support me for 1 month and maybe 2, and then back off like just to make one payment. But typically the last month or so, my Patreon level has kind of gone just above 500, just below 500, just above, just below. And as of this video, it's currently just below. So it fluctuates just between, I make a video game series, I stick to what I'm doing. So I did put the work in to make the episode. So I am going to give you guys the episode. So at the very least, I will uphold to that promise. But because I technically haven't hit the milestone and cemented that milestone, I'm going to kind of change. Here's what's going to happen. I'm going to post the video as is. Like, honestly, I probably should redo the game footage and the audio recording too, because frankly, it's not the most interesting playthrough. I kind of took the fastest route to the boss I could. So I'm going to chop it up into what I want it to be. This highlight reel of a full gameplay, just to see if I can accomplish a goal in a video game that I played as a kid. If in adulthood I can still do what I could do when I had the manual dexterity of a 7-year-old. And it's not going to have an intro. It's probably just going to be like this, just me talking to the camera and explaining what it is and explaining, why I'm uploading it this way. So what I want is feedback. I'm going to post it as a pilot. I'll post it just the way it is now. Okay, so we'll try and cut it to just the most interesting parts of the gameplay. We'll try to make a concise little video out of it, and hopefully entertaining enough to actually warrant continuing. But I want the feedback because this is something I've never done before. And when it comes to Let's Play stuff, I watch a bunch of channels. Like, I watch Game Grumps, Markiplier, and Achievement Hunter, and like some of the big channels, but I'm not up on my Let's Play behavior, So I'm looking for ways of kind of balancing it out, and I want feedback on, the formats, the choice of game style, the style of games I'm going with, because it's a lot of retro stuff I want to do, and I want to see like what your thoughts are on it. Is this a viable format? Am I doing something at least a little bit different? Commentary wise, humor wise, am I bringing anything to the table? What needs to change before I take this to full series? Because when the Patreon goes well above 500, and I know it's not going to dip below that unless I do something like disastrously stupid, which, if you've been following me for 7 years, you know I'm prone to doing things disastrously stupid from time to time. You know, once I know that it's not going to fall below 500 again, we'll go full production and we'll put that out into the big video rotation that I'm working on. But for now, it's just going to be the pilot. It's just going to be, I'm looking for honest opinions. Like, blind praise does me no good, and just scorn and you suck does me no good. I'm looking for feedback. How can this be improved? How can it look better? How can it be more interesting? Does the commentary need work? You know, should I take a more, you know, like, should I do something a little bit more interesting than just go straight to the boss? You know, things like that. So, that's the plan right now. I don't know when you're going to see that. Probably by the end of the month. Depends on when I get around, you know, when I get the time to hammer all the footage together and actually make a video out of it. Of course, you'll see it when it comes up. So just be aware, it's going to be rough, it's going to be crude, it's not going to have an intro, and it's going to be a work in progress. But hopefully it's a work that I can build off of. So I think that's it for everything I am currently in the middle of. So as you're watching this video, I'm probably in the midst of picking out the next random review subject. I've still got a lot to write for Star Saber, a lot to write for the card set, and a lot to prepare for Metrocon. Because oh my God, like seriously, guys, this year is just overwhelmingly big, but it's gonna be a lot of fun. So thank you guys for watching again. Thank you for the support over the years. Thank you for everyone who's stuck by me through thick and thin, dark times and bright, and for some reason find a little bit of humor in a guy who just wanted to make fun of some bad toys. So thank you guys. Like seriously, you guys mean the world to me, and I will be at this for as long as you guys are gonna watch. I will be at this. So hopefully it only goes up from here.